Hello, my fellow clout givers. Today, we're talking about something serious. And who doesn't love serious discussions revolving around big boy YouTubers and their little drama? Today, we have a very bizarre topic. This is something that has come out of the blue for me, information that was given to me out of nowhere, and it is about a certain Roblox YouTuber that may be a child predator. This information has been brought to me by a person on Discord named Arachna. If you don't know who Arachna is, you may also know her as Ruza. Ruza is one of the people involved in the Bonza YouTube drama that happened over a year ago. But since she goes by Arachna on Discord and Twitter, I will further address her as Arachna. So Arachna sent me a document on this YouTuber. This guy goes by the name of Spookish. He is a 30,000 sub Roblox YouTuber. He likes to do Robux giveaways as well. And basically from what I've read from this document made by Arachna is that Spookish has committed predatory behavior on two underage individuals on Discord. According to Arachna's document, which actually has some pretty substantial evidence, I gotta say. I'll link it in the description. But according to her document, Spookish during this incident is 21 years old, and both of his victims are 15. And Spookish is being accused of sending feet pics to minors, asking for their feet pics, and when called out on it, would proceed to purge their chats, fake their departure on Discord and Twitter, and doing all of this while being fully aware of his victims' ages. Another thing Spookish has been accused of by one of his victims is FaceTiming himself masturbating. However, apparently this happened on Snapchat and there is no substantial evidence to back it up. The only screenshots that came with this accusation of masturbating on camera are 3 screenshots here. 2 of them are Spookish being confronted by one of his victims, and the other one is an interview between the same victim and Arachna. There's also several screenshots in this document that show Spookish being fully aware of his actions, being confronted by people before he claims that he would leave the internet entirely, and then there is also proof that he faked leaving the internet by making his username and avatar look like he deleted his account, but he actually didn't. You can see in this screenshot that his socials are still linked, the friend code is still there, and his about me is still there. Pretty damn obvious he faked it out there, isn't it? He also did the same to his Twitter account. As for his YouTube channel, it has always remained the same. At the end of the document, we get a few screenshots of Spookish addressing the controversy, and the document ends with, quote, Spookish has admitted to what he's done to his community. However, he left out the fact that the 2 people involved were minors. He also leaked their names, something they specifically wanted hidden to avoid harassment from his community. While it may be true that he never sent or received any media containing masturbation, he still sexually pleasured multiple minors to fulfill his desires, which makes him a sexual predator. Now, while I was reading this document that came to fruition and ended up in my DMs with Arachna, it turns out that a few days later, Spookish actually decided to make a response to these accusations with his own document, which would later on be addressed in Arachna's document in the form of an update. Just a disclaimer, I am not going to link Spookish's response in the description like I did with Arachna's, purely because the names of Spookish's victims are in the document, and the victims in this situation want to remain anonymous. So in respect to the minors affected by Spookish's actions, even though their names are out there thanks to Spookish, I will cover up their names if they are seen in any screenshots I take. In Spookish's response, he basically claims that a lot of accusations towards him are completely made up or twisted, and that all of this was purely made to cancel him. Spookish makes a lot of claims in this document that there is no valid proof to all the accusations made towards him, but in the exact same document literally admits multiple times that he asked for feet pics from these children. In terms of filming himself masturbating, he may have a point that there's no valid evidence, but most of what he says in this document kind of comes off as an excuse for his actions. He also leaves out the fact that he purged his chats during the whole drama, which Arachna's document shows proof of this. So it seems a bit disingenuous to say that a lot of the claims are completely fabricated. Spookish's document also comes off as an attempt at blackmailing his victims. Like for example, he posted a screenshot of one of his victims telling him about how this person was apparently groomed in real life, and is still currently experiencing trauma over it, and Spookish decided to use this against them and accused them of, quote, making up grooming stories for empathy points. That is a wild accusation to make, especially with your current situation. It also comes off as an attempt to distract his audience from what he himself has done by discrediting his own victims. A classic tactic used by predators alike. He also tried to excuse his actions by showing how his other victim has a foot fetish. I mean, sure, you can call them weird for that, but it's not an excuse for your actions. You still asked for their feet pics regardless, and sent them your own as well. The other portion of Spookish's document is irrelevant to the topic I'm talking about though, as he is in drama with another person who apparently lied about getting free Robux. I don't know. So, in light of this predator controversy regarding Spookish, I decided to get in touch of one of Spookish's victims. We had a small chat. She seems to be incredibly distraught from the situation because of how it made her lose a lot of friends, and I will briefly go over what I have learned talking to her. The first thing I asked her is, how long did Spookish sexualize her for? It was said to go on for about a week, but she told me that she recalls on Snapchat that her and the other victim were trading feet pics all the way back in May of last year. This person at first thought it was a joke up until it actually happened on Snapchat. She sadly did not have the evidence for it, however, since this happened with both victims involved, that means she has a witness, so that story is not entirely off the hook. I also told her about Spookish's accusation that her grooming story was made up, and she showed a lot of anguish regarding it, which I can only imagine if I was a grooming victim and someone painted it as if I was just making shit up for empathy points. That's not okay. For anyone out there that ever suspects that someone is lying about being groomed, you should at least give them the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, you just look like a giant asshole. It just seems like Spookish is using anything they can to unfairly judge them as some sort of evil manipulator, which I kind of have experience in that myself. Tomboy. One last thing about this entire situation is that in Spookish's document, he claims his victim was willing to forgive him for all of his actions. But when I reached out to her, it was a much different story. It looks like she was actually pressured by Spookish's friends to forgive him. They aren't even showing any sort of understanding towards her. They're all just like, hey, listen, I know this guy was being creepy to you and wanted to see your feet, but come on now, it's Spookish. He didn't do nothing, man. This is the same reaction I got when I faked my death once. Here's a little lesson out there, everyone, including the children should know. If someone got exposed for being a child predator, do not easily forgive them. Being a pedophile and doing predatory activities can get you in prison. Prison. Spookish also tried framing it as if this person was freaking out because he was planning on exposing her. In actuality, the reason why she was freaking out was because the person she was DMing at the time would not listen to her when it came to Spookish's unforgivable actions. The man had the gall to say to this kid that what Spookish did was not a big deal. They're actively white knighting for a pedophile. And at the end of Spookish's document, he tries to give his audience a little cute lesson of the day as if none of what he did even mattered, saying, quote, "This should be a lesson that people will try to do anything to cancel you and they will harass other people throughout the way. And that once you become a content creator, people will always be jealous of your success and try to go out of their way as much as they can to expose you and take you down in the most twisted ways possible." My brother in Christ, you asked for their feet. In conclusion, Spookish is in fact a child predator. Don't take it from me anyway. Take it from him. His own document shows off the fact that he did ask for feet pics from a minor, admits to it multiple times, and he did it for his own sexual gain, which by default makes him a child predator, and it's further supported by Arachna's document. It's also damning to know that Spookish likes to beat around the bush a lot regarding this whole situation. Like, he addresses the controversy at full in this server, but completely left out the fact that the people he did this to were underaged. Pretty disgusting stuff. I also should point out that when I reached out to Spookish's victim, they were incredibly despaired by the fact that this situation cost them a lot of friendships. So, in return, I invited her to my friend's Discord server in hopes that she would make some new ones. Special thanks to Arachna for giving me this information. If anything regarding Spookish comes up, I'll probably make a follow-up video regarding it. And, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe because I need clout. And yes, I promise the hot tub stream is coming, so stay tuned.